troubleshooters. You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of the city's north side. We've learned one person has been stabbed here at the LA Fitness along Blanco Road near 410. You are looking live at the scene. Police tell us 3 people were involved, but it's not clear what started the altercation or if they've made any arrests. We will keep you posted. More breaking news out of the southeast side. You're taking a look at the scene of an apartment fire. 6 units affected here. Our crew on scene working to gather more information, but you can see that window, some smoke damage. As soon as we learn more, we will pass it along. Thank you for joining us. I'm Robert Price. Also just into our newsroom, a San Marcos student housing complex reacting with surprise to last night's mandatory evacuation ordered by the San Marcos Fire Marshal. It's a story we've been following for you since last night. More than 160 people forced to leave these lofts after fire marshals cited building stability concerns. Tonight, the apartments calling the safety of their residents their #1 priority. They offered this statement saying in part, quote, "This decision by the city on Friday took me by surprise as well, as we have passed what we thought were all the proper inspections and have approved paperwork from our engineers showing the structural integrity of our building." They say they're meeting with the city on Monday to get clarification on why this had to happen. The complex says it wants to help residents get back into their homes as soon as possible, adding, quote, "If this doesn't happen in a quick turnaround, we will address any lease concerns on a case-by-case basis." The complex, which is near the Texas State University campus, will remain evacuated until further notice. Right now, a special operations soldier critically wounded in Afghanistan is now in San Antonio undergoing treatment at Brooke Army Medical Center. Word of his injuries and treatment just now being released. The military says it took 4 days and 3 different military aircraft to make the life-saving journey here to San Antonio. For now, they're not naming the soldier, but we do know he lost his right arm and leg after a grenade exploded during close quarters combat. We just heard back from the burn center at BAMC, and right now they are listing the soldier in fair condition. New at 5, a special ceremony in Colorado is honoring a San Antonio firefighter. Max Weltons Jr. died in July of last year after a battle with cancer. Today, Weltons was honored at the annual Colorado Springs Fallen Firefighter Memorial. His name now has a place on their memorial wall. Back here at home, a pedestrian is in his critical condition, listed in his 60s, following this crash north of downtown. This was the scene around 2:30 this morning along West Cypress and Howard Street. The driver who hit the man told police he never saw the victim. A father is in custody after leaving the scene of this motorcycle crash. It involved him and his passenger, his teenage son. Police say a car pulled out in front of their bike here along Matthews Avenue on the west side. That caused the father to lose control and lay down the bike. After the crash, the father ran away. Eventually came back, though, told police he went home for bandages. Turns out he had several warrants out for his arrest, so officers placed him in custody. We're told the teenage son was not wearing a helmet. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Also new at 5, a single father is fighting for a better life for his young daughter. But now the hardships he's facing may prove too much to handle alone. He reached out to help for us after doctors diagnosed his daughter with a rare health condition. News 4 San Antonio's David Norris has their story. David?
Yeah, you know, if you have kids, you know all too well how scary being a parent can be. And when things out of your control start to happen, those fears, they can consume us. Brandon Garay is a 30-year-old single father. He's made some mistakes in his life. 8-year-old Haley isn't one of them.
Being a dad is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
He's there for the good times and the bad, even when the bad times...
She has this rare disorder. It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
...are really bad.
She can randomly start bleeding in her stomach. Her intestines can... pretty much, I would use the term explode.
The list keeps going.
She bruises easily.
But dads like Brandon don't give up.
It's so much, man.
And neither do their kids.
She's the strongest person I've ever known.
But even the strongest can break.
Financially, it's been tough. It's always been tough. But I do what I have to do. I do what I can.
Money can pay the bills, but it can't take this all away. For that, Brandon would sell his soul if he could, whatever it takes to fix his little girl.
The hardest part for me is not knowing why, not being able to find out if there's going to ever be a cure for this.
Now, if you'd like to help Brandon and Haley on this journey, you can. We've added a link to the web version of this story on our website, news4sanantonio.com.
Thank you, David. Another pedestrian is recovering after he was hit by a car, also north of downtown, happened along Broadway near Casablanca. Police say the victim in his 50s was not using a crosswalk. The driver did stop and will not face any charges. Right now, authorities in the Houston area are asking for help finding a missing 62-year-old woman. They say Linda Field, you see right there, has a diagnosed cognitive impairment. Field is about 5 feet tall, 130 pounds. She has gray blonde hair, blue eyes. Last seen Tuesday night in Porter. That's about 30 miles north of Houston. Authorities believe she is driving a red 1999 Ford Explorer, Texas license plate 2GCDH. If you see her, call the number there at the bottom of your screen. The latest on the damage left by Tropical Storm Imelda. 5 people are confirmed dead, and the floodwaters still remain in some areas of southeast Texas following historic rainfall. Some in the Houston area are experiencing a case of deja vu, frustrated after cleaning up from Hurricane Harvey just 2 years ago.
But to have to go through it again, it's just, you don't want to. You just want to tear your house down and not have to do it again.
Thousands are now preparing for a massive cleanup. The rising waters have kept rescue crews busy for days. In one county alone, teams rescued more than 1,700 people. We are staying on top of the latest Imelda coverage for you. Get all the latest updates at our website, news4sa.com. Quickly, want to make you aware of something. AT&T and DirecTV are threatening to remove News 4 San Antonio from their channel lineups beginning next Friday, the 27th. What that means is if you have UVerse or DirecTV, you would miss out on the Cowboys Sunday night football game against the Saints on the 29th, not to mention new episodes of The Voice, This Is Us, and of course your local news here on News 4. So if you're a customer at AT&T or DirecTV, reach out, let them know you don't want to miss any of that great programming here on 4. Just call the number 1-833-NO-2ATT. That's 1-833-668-6288. You can also visit the website keepmycontent.com for more information. New at 5, a bizarre sight involving a household item protruding out of a toddler's neck.
We have pulled 4 since then.
She's talking about feathers. The unusual place, a young girl got them and started eating them, and what her mom had to do to get the toddler the help she so desperately needed.
Attention DirecTV and